So you're 3 runner over, 2-1 fastball. First 3 pitches were down and in. How are you able to get around that high fastball? Which couple was on?
本当に素晴らしい投手が、なかなか失投も作れないと思うので、そういう投手の、いいところでできて、ラッキーだったなと思います。He's a really good pitcher, and it's not easy to get him, but I really wanted to make sure that I could hit one.
Joey, what did the team show tonight? Coming back twice and then holding the lead with the bullpen.
逆転勝利して、チームの勢い、Sarah.
Yeah.
Amir's dad. Rossi's like, I know he's the VP of like sales, I think, at the Dodgers or something
Cool.
like that. It's like one of the things. But pretty much what's happening is that journalism might, since when you raise a lot of money to get a website, I think because Al is like in charge of like kind of getting like word out about the club, and her dad works with the Dodgers, we like might be able to like do a raffle, I think, with the Dodgers.
Oh, we can hear this. Exciting.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
I thought you meant we were going to
caller there?
I thought you meant we were going to like FaceTime or something.
Oh, well, this is FaceTime. This is FaceTime.
Yeah, but I didn't know we were doing it publicly.
Well, I said it was a live stream.
No, all right.
Friar Frank, welcome.
Oh, look at you. You're all ready, guys. My glasses on. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, well, because, I got to see the controls.
Yeah, but now I can't see. All right.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Well, to those of you who are just tuning in and wondering what the hell is going on, so am I. And apparently so is Frank, too.
Yeah. No, I'm with you now.
Yeah. But we decided, our two favorite baseball teams, the Dodgers and the Padres, are playing each other right now in the playoffs. And so we thought after each game, maybe we would come on and have like a little discussion, a civil discussion between friends.
Okay.
About I actually put a thing in the comments here that there will be no gloating. This is not.
Oh, no. There's nothing.
It's game one.
It's game one of a division series. It's
exactly
nothing to gloat about. Yeah,
not a single thing in the entire world. But let me just say, wow! If all 5 of these games are going to be like this, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I think actually I didn't think we would get that good of a game.
Yeah, well, it certainly started out with bad pitching. From our side, I thought it was going to be. My prediction before had been it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. I didn't expect like a close game, just because,
Well, you had two aces up there, and I thought for sure one of them was going to get to the fifth. Right. Neither one of them even got close.
No, they really didn't, did they?
And for us, after losing Musgrove for the rest of this series, basically our entire Game 3 lineup had to pitch tonight. Right. So, but I think we also dug into Dodger bullpen. So it'll be interesting to see who's healthy tomorrow, because Dodger bullpen threw a lot of pitches tonight too. So there's a couple good takeaways for potential, but I thought the Dodger bullpen looked great tonight.
Yeah, I don't know that the best possible plan for tonight was have two of your big bullpen guys throw longer than they've ever thrown this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave Roberts continues to be, to me, the luckiest SOB in terms of managers. His game strategy, I just don't understand. No. This idea that in the postseason you switch to asking people to do things they're not used to doing.
Yeah. Well, which is why
you pitch a second inning tonight. Could you do that? It's like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, there was all this talk about, is Ohtani going to pitch in one of these series?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't doubt that Dave wouldn't have thought of that. Like, hey, Shohei, go right after the bullpen for me.
How are you really feeling?
How are you really feeling? Yeah.
It's like,
what did you think of Freddie taking the bag on the bum leg?
I can only tell you what we said in my house, which was, ah!
Yeah.
That was kind of how we reacted. It was not great. It was not great. Freddie, we love you.
Yeah.
Love you. You're a gamer, but don't ever do that again.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. What game inning? What was it? Inning 4 or 5 of game 1 of the playoffs.
Right.
You want to miss how much more? Like, you want to take another week off? You want to, like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah, there's so many things that are at risk in that play.
Right.
For him, who, if he stands upright, he's, the second best bat in the lineup for most nights. And certainly we don't have his number. So when I saw that, I was like, geez. One, when in the first inning when he ran, I was like, is he really supposed to be running? Like,
exactly.
Could they not have sat him one more game? But then I didn't want to say that, because of course, we want to beat the best. But like when he went after second, down to second, I was like, well, now you're Freddie now, and I love that guy too. I completely love Freddie.
Yes.
Complete gamer. But yeah, he is one. He was one cleat away.
Mm-hmm.
He was one Jake Cronenworth left cleat away from being out for good.
Exactly.
Because he didn't have a grasp on the bag.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a tough one. No, I thought trying to look great. I thought I thought Dodger pitching surprised me with just how strong the bullpen was. Also San Diego, I'll give them all the credit in the world for not producing, but threatening. It was a great night for threatening. We threatened like the best of them.
Yeah.
Lots of traffic, could not convert. Campbell and I, of course, Manny gets down 0-2 there, bottom of the ninth, or down 2 strikes at the bottom of the ninth. And in this house, we all know how to pitch Manny with 2 strikes.
Right.
Like every single person in this house knows exactly how to throw a pitch way away, sinking way away. And so like that
was weak spot too.
Well, once you got that two strike count, it was just like, well, if this guy only knows how to throw one pitch, this game's over. Now, if he makes a mistake, that's a heck of an inning. But I think the other big mistake Padres made, in terms of management, that'll be questioned. Whether it's a mistake, I don't know, because of hindsight, right? But so you've got Mookie 2-2, and you decide to put him on to face Freddie. That was a tough one. That got a lot of consternation of, should you just keep going after him? Like,
Right.
or is Morhone saying like, I can't make this pitch, which would surprise me that he doesn't want to at least try to battle. He's got him down 2 strikes. So that set up some trouble for us for sure.
Yeah. Let's go back to the beginning of the game real quick when all of a sudden, the Dodger fans had not even sat down yet and they were already down 3-0.
Down 3-0, yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really ask for a better start than
No,
that.
and the more you boo Manny, the harder,
better he is.
the longer he goes, the better he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, some good stuff there. Luis Ariz is, my favorite guy to see come up because there's always a chance. Fernando's locked in right now, so he had great at bats tonight.
Super. Yeah.
That ground ball that he hits in the third, the ground ball that goes to the wall is the hardest hit baseball of the season. I don't know if you saw that stat. It's his hardest hit baseball of the year, and it hugged the grass for
just
the rest
screamer.
of his life. Yeah, so they look good at the plate there. Where the Dodgers looked better was in the 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7 hitters.
Bottom half came through tonight.
Bottom half, setting up Ohtani is really all you need.
Well,
did you think when Ohtani, and I don't know, you watch him far more than I do, hit home runs, but when he tagged that one to right, like the sound of the barrel, the swing, I thought that ball was going to go a lot further than just over the wall.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be like a no doubter, and it was a doubter.
It was kind of a doubter.
Yeah, it definitely was. I don't know. He, I was lucky enough to see him in person a couple times this year. I did see him hit a home run this year. And that is, I've said on other chats or with other people, that the sound of the ball off his bat is the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I don't know why that is. I mean, he's using the same bats as other people, but it just sounds different. He just hits a ball in such a way that it just, I don't know, sounds different, feels different. And obviously the results over the last 2 weeks, especially, have been just crazy. Now, I remember a couple of years back, and you're old enough to remember this too, when the hottest team in the universe going into the World Series was the Colorado Rockies, who had won like 20 in a row or something. And then they had like a week off, and then they got swept by the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And I worried if a little bit of that might be at play for Ohtani. Like, he's the hottest hitter in the universe. And then, all right, son, sit down. We'll see you next Saturday, and it's like, just keep playing a little bit. But it's tough. But he seemed to be pretty much right on it. You saw a couple of strikeouts later, but I was happy to see him kind of come through in, his first kind of like big clutch situation there.
Yeah, when needed is what matters. But he's beatable, he's pitchable. I don't think you need to avoid him necessarily unless you've got runners.
Yeah.
And I don't know in that situation.
Yeah.
It's all hindsight at that point in time. But he had a lot of swing and misses. He had a lot of swinging at inside, fouling off balls that should have been swing and misses that even if he connects aren't going anywhere.
Right.
He was hacking.
Yeah, and then I I hear the train in the background.
Oh, that's that's the 2 o'clock, as my dad would say. Oh, 2 o'clock, right on time.
Yeah, it's running a little late tonight. But it for me, like as I said to a friend before the series, the whole thing is going to turn, I think, mostly on Dodger pitching. If they get pitching, they have a good chance. If
I 100% agree.
Right. If tomorrow, Jack whatever gets knocked out after 2 innings or 3 innings, and we're back to another all bullpen game, and then it's another all bullpen game in game 3, this could be a very short series. It could wrap up very quickly. Right? We might not make it back to game 5 for that, I would say. That being said, if the pitching holds, I saw Sandy Koufax in the stands tonight. I wonder if he's still available.
Yeah, he probably is.
Just sign him to a 10-day, maybe get him out there. Couldn't be any worse than some of the options. I was sad to see Kershaw's out for the season, not unsurprisingly, but they've made it official today. He's not coming back for this season.
That's that's a solid October move. That's the first good Dave Roberts decision
Well, the idea was
pitching
this
decision
year.
about Kershaw in the
Yeah.
last decade.
The idea this year was we'll bring him back in like July or August, and then he'll be great for October. And
Yeah.
that didn't work either. And it is, as the old saying goes, Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals. It's it's sad to watch. And I hope he still is still able to produce at a high level. Hey, listen, let me add. We're getting some comments from the viewers.
We have viewers.
As you might.
I can't see anything, so I can
No.
see you. I didn't know there's. Can I see these?
Sure.
Is there a way for me to see? Oh, there's a little button. Oh, look at that.
Let's see. This is from TV's Rob Carlskin, who writes in,
Yeah,
"No
he agrees.
Kershaw, thank you. Yes, Frank."
Yes.
So I think that that's nice. And then from the out of the woods of the Pacific Northwest, Alan Schaufler writes in, you boys, hey.
Yeah.
Maybe hi, you boys. Hey, is that Japanese kid any good? Well, one of them was tonight.
Well, and his name is Yu Darvish, and you'll see him tomorrow there, Alan.
Yes, exactly.
He is good.
You is good. You good. You very good. He can be very good.
I really, really, really wish I could trust social media enough to share with you a text I received from a beloved family member. Let's just say a parent. I won't say which one.
Okay.
Who I think was just saying I'm rooting against the very good Japanese ball player. But the way the text is phrased, it's very much not okay.
Right. That's so. You know what? The times have changed.
Yeah.
The generations have changed, and that's just as it goes. We also got a private message, I think, that says,
stop making so much noise.
Hold on one second. No, this is from, and I'm going to have to switch repertorial hats here to give a shout out to our good friend Amy, who is watching and wrote in to say, we are all armchair managers. They really do know better than we do. Amy apparently has not been watching Dave Roberts for the last 10 years. As the team has steadfastly underperformed. Steadfastly. Now,
can I discuss two things? Just can I put these on the agenda to discuss?
Absolutely.
And Rob Carlskin can. Rob, aren't you in the woods? You don't have cell service. How are you doing this?
He's got Starlink. He's got Starlink.
And Manny doesn't cry. Okay. Anyway,
it's fun to watch Manny. Oh, Rob.
Let me address two things.
One thing, no gloating.
One thing that Amy and I discussed in another platform, just how excruciatingly painful John Smoltz is as a broadcaster. It was.
It's not good.
Horrible.
Yeah.
The first hour of that game was just painful to listen to him over explain and over talk what's already a bad broadcast to begin with. When again, you and I have talked about this before. Every team has very qualified broadcasters. If you're going to have the Dodger play-by-play, bring in the Padre color and have a broadcast team that knows these two teams.
Yeah.
But Smoltz is like, I think I commented that he, makes me long for the AMSR of Joe Buck.
Oh God!
And he's identical to our Mark Sweeney, who we finally got rid of after years. Just constant.
Yeah.
Smoltz-splaining. The other controversy
I love it.
that I want to address with the Dodger fans that are paying attention, because I have, I'm going to just say this: October Facebook is just the pit of humanity for all reasons. But there's a woman that I know, and she's a big Dodger fan, and she's constant. She hates the Padres. She hates the Padres only when we are threatening.
Right.
And so a couple years ago, it was they were too smug and they shouldn't be having fun. And kind of like anytime there's a slightly brown player, they're thugs and the whole thing, all that crap.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
so
that is hard.
Today it was, how dare the San Diego Padres restrict tickets?
Right.
To only, okay.
Yes.
Let me
For
just
those of
clear
you who
this up.
don't wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll explain it real quick. For those of you who don't know, a story went around about how the Padres, through the computer, are able to restrict ticket purchases to certain zip codes with your
Yes.
credit card. So you have to have
Yes.
a credit card that is a San Diego-based credit card to buy tickets, and that means no Dodger fans going down and seeing the games
It,
theoretically. Like they've
it
never
means a
heard of
lot of
StubHub, but right.
things. If that is your takeaway, yes. But let's go to what the actuality of this is.
Yes.
Okay, one, it's a technique used by many major league teams. The Yankees, you may have heard of them. Same thing.
I'm familiar
But
with
let's be really clear here. The San Diego Padres put all primary tickets, all 47,000 primary tickets for sale first to season ticket holders and people who pre-registered. And I had that opportunity to pre-register and I didn't take it.
Oh.
All 40, they put 46,000 tickets up for sale on night one, and all 46,000 were sold.
There you go. Boom.
They kept 1,000 tickets for people who didn't get in on that.
Yep.
And that's who had the zip code restrictions.
Right.
However, they do not regulate the secondary market, which is where most people are buying their tickets. StubHub, SeatGeek, things like that.
Right.
So you will see when you get to Petco, there will be plenty. Now, we also know the Dodgers didn't sell out this game at first.
Right.
And we know that the Padres did sell out their games. That's not a judgment on Dave Roberts' ability to manage. I'm just saying, if you're complaining about not being able to go down there and see the game, just watch your team and enjoy. Try living in San Luis Obispo. Try living 4 hours away and not being able to watch a Dodger broadcast because the blackout restrictions have nothing to do with zip codes or area codes. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
Please.
I see that we have no comments about it, so I'll go ahead and stop talking.
No. Absolutely. We did have some more broadcasting related comments come in on the private channels because not everybody posts their comments online. But this is again from America's #1 Phillies fan, Amy Huggins. She says, writes in to say, AJ Pierzynski is even worse than Smoltz. And
yes, she did say that.
He's doing the National Phillies games. Look, I don't disagree. I listened to a little bit of that Phillies Mets game today and really felt bad for Amy because it was like, ooh, this is not good. And I think in one of my other chats, people were talking about how like the ideal would be for the lead TV teams of the playoff teams to just do an MLB app audio stream. You don't have to, so for the Dodgers, obviously if Joe Davis is doing the national broadcast, then their backup guy would step up and do that with like Oral Hershiser or anybody else who
Right.
Who do they even use these days as color? It kind of rotates among Jessica Mendoza's in there. Dontrell Willis has done a couple. I know Dontrell does the Apple TV games too. etc. Which is a fantastic idea. And it kind of harks back to something that the LA Kings did back when they were going for the Stanley Cup, which was they have the all-time, their all-time legendary hockey announcers, Bob Miller, who was like in the triumvirate of Vin Scully, Chick Hearn, and Bob Miller, the third pillar of LA broadcasting icons. Bob was not going to call the game, because it's a national game. So they just set him up in a press booth up there and gave him a recorder and said, go to town. So, he and Jim Fox, the regular team, just did a closed circuit broadcast that they eventually put out like on home video or something when the Kings won the cup, which was very, very nice to have. But yeah, I don't see, obviously the Padres broadcasters are fantastic, and there's absolutely no reason they couldn't do a live stream call that, and
the reason they can't, but they can't because they're all now under an MLB contract, basically.
Well, for the Padres specifically, you'd think it would be easier to do that because they don't have a rights holder. MLB owns their rights, right?
I think I think Padre fans themselves would probably pay per view if Orsillo and Mudd would just, throw a mic on while sitting at the game. But I think Orsillo and Mudd are part of the organization. The organization is part of the MLB. The MLB is bought into this TV package. I don't think that's going to happen. And the real issue for me is we could here, let's say out of market, we could try to sync with radio. We did that for the Korea games. We tried to sync with radio and it's really hard to do. To get our radio broadcasters. But I see the person that I still revere as one of the smartest people I know, Scott Larson, has weighed in, and
Scott Larson has weighed in.
He's absolutely correct also about the ticket gate.
Yes.
2000.
I imagine the people of San Diego have a literal investment in the Padres Stadium. Do they? Was it produced with? Was it created
it's a
and built
bond,
with public funding? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so surely they should have some advantage in buying tickets. That's fair. That's fair. And I never really worry too much about this because of the availability of tickets on the secondary market is not going to be geo-fenced or whatever. So
right.
Look, it's a dumb thing to be up in arms about.
We went to a game last season, and we sat down, and we always buy, well, not always. I try to buy like half primary, half secondary, depends on when we're going down. And we were sitting in season ticket seats, and the dudes next to us were season ticket holders. And the other guy is explaining to him explaining to his partner how he sells all of his Dodger tickets to Dodger fans at twice, triple the price. Right. He basically has it worked out that he pays for his season tickets by selling off the home
profits
Dodger Giant games.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't go because he doesn't want to be around all those fans anyway.
Right.
And we overheard this conversation of X is nodding her head. And I was like, that's kind of brilliant because, the whole game really at postseason is having if you're a season ticket holder, you're good for postseason.
Yeah.
In any market. But yeah, that guy was we listened to him over, just kind of eavesdropped on this whole economic scam that he had going, which was brilliant.
Oh, Exy chimed in with, there was also an NPR story about a 30-second time delay for radio transmit to prevent profanity airing. That's true.
Really?
when the Mets, again, had their.
That's all you need to say. I think we know the rest of the sentence.
When the Mets had their big comeback against the Brewers the other night, that was crazy. Number one, and number two, one of the nice features in the MLB app is you can go back and pick the different audio streams. Right? That technology does exist. This is not just like some kind of crazy thing. You can listen to the radio call.
Yeah,
synced, but it's rarely. It wasn't 30-second delay, but it was out of sync enough that you couldn't watch the game listening to that audio because you'd hear the pop of the bat 10 seconds before the swing on TV, which was kind of a problem. But I went and listened to the Spanish announcers call, and either they were extremely prescient or about 20 seconds early. on the Pete Alonso homer. I thought, I bet this is 20 seconds out of sync. It seems like, they're really excited at this part.
I had to turn off my MLB app notifications on my iPad because if I'm have my iPad open, it's 2 seconds ahead.
Yep. You'll see the result before.
Yeah. I don't like that.
My Apple Watch buzzes, with a run score or whatever, and I'll look up and Shohei will still be at the plate. And I'll be like, oh, well, I guess something good is about to happen. It just getting that everything synced up is always kind of an issue. We did get some more chat in, and I just kind of threw it up there so people could read as we're.
I'm pretty excited to see. Last I understood, Rob was he was only able to broadcast or use social media for an hour a week. And the weather had to be correct and the certain mountain passageway.
Where is Rob?
I'm very excited. He's okay. He's safe. This is a proof of life.
He's safe. All right. Well, Rob says he's known a few Dodger season ticket holders who sell Giant and Yankee games to pay for the season. Pretty common. Yeah. My neighbor did the same. He had a guy. He would get Dodger season tickets, but he'd buy 3 or 4 different season ticket teams of teams he expected were going to be in the playoffs or World Series, and then just sell all those to pay. He'd end up plussing $5,000, $10,000 on the deal to pay for his local season tickets or something. It was more of an investment that I was interested in making. Rob also says he's off grid, but not tonight, baby.
But not tonight, baby. So everybody. be careful out there. Rob's not off the grid tonight.
Sight impaired fans are complaining it's an FCC guideline. Interesting. That's fair. The profanity thing. So then you watch the ESPN version, right, of that. He's off the grid, but not tonight, baby. You watch the ESPN version and you hear. Oh God, who was it? Boog Powell? No, Boog Shambi. And it'd be odd if it was Boog Powell. Boog Shambi and Doug Glanville had the call, and then you hear the homer and everyone cheering, and then it goes kind of really ultra quiet, and they keep talking, and then you hear it's like a sine wave, audio level underneath them as they're continuing to bleep out Pete Alonso screaming, "Let's go!" They have to bleep. That stuff. So just the audio phases in and out completely, and it just did not sound, great at all. And I just keep wondering if, maybe in the future, artificial intelligence will be able to smooth that out.
You just brought up something that, and maybe we can save this for a future broadcast.
Yes.
My still highlight of the baseball season is the great mystery that involves Pete Alonso.
Yes.
Throwing out one. It was like some kid hit his first major league hit.
Yes.
Somehow there's an out. Pete then throws the ball into the stands.
I kind of remember this.
And it's the kid's ball. And I'm like, what? Oh, there was less than 3 outs. That's what it was. Right. It was a base hit, and the ball comes back in, and Pete just throws it in the stands. I've never seen a ball go into the stands that's not an out or a foul. Right. It was a base hit that came back in from the outfield, and Pete just hucked it into the stands. I don't think we talk enough about it.
Listen, he's very fan friendly. Let's put it that way. He's very fan friendly. He likes to give the kids, a souvenir.
The ball could have been in play. There was no reason for that ball to go in the stands. I think this needs an investigation. Go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you think? One of the things I've definitely noticed is this was a very watchable game. And I think, I've said it on social once or twice, but I figure I might as well say it here too. I was wrong about the pitch clock. As a purist, I was very anti-pitch clock. And now I find it's probably the best thing that's happened to baseball in the last
I'm okay with pitch clock, but there was a Dodger pitcher before Trinan tonight.
There were many before Trinan.
Yeah, the right before. There was a start-stop, and I thought that should have been a ball.
Yeah. No,
you saw that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a start-stop. I think that should be set the clock. That's a ball. You can see the TV reflection in the window behind me, but they just showed the, scrappy leadoff hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies, lithe Kyle Schwarber, who, again, Ohtani's bomb was barely over the wall. The Schwarber leadoff home run in that Phillies game is a literal bomb. That thing is still going.
Yeah. Schwarber.
That thing, it was just a monster.
I see more of Schwarber than most, I would guess, because of Amy. And we sometimes watch more than most, of every other team that I don't watch at all. I'll see his. That, his role on that team is really, really fascinating. And this idea of putting your big bopper up first. Even when the Dodgers moved Ohtani from behind Betts to in front, during Mookie's absence, and then they just left him there the rest of the year. The math works out. I guess you want your best hitter to get as many at bats as possible. And the number one slot gets the most at bats by an appreciable margin over the course of a whole season. It made me think, though, tonight about, is there a different way to structure a major league lineup so that you're doing a pot of 5 and a pot of 4? Does anyone put a leadoff hitter at 6, and a Mookie at 7? No one would ever think that, because you lose too many, I guess, at bats.
You lose too many at bats
in the thing.
With this level of pitching. Here's a question for you, but I want to get to, there's a couple of comments here.
Sure. Yeah.
Where does Ohtani hit if he's pitching?
He hits same spot, I think. He just plays.
You run your starting pitcher out to the plate before they throw a ball in a visiting stadium?
So. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I mean, doesn't he just? Is there just they don't use the DH for that night?
Did he lead off in
Or
Anaheim?
they DH somebody else? No, he was like a 2 or 3 hitter, I think.
Yeah, I don't. Do the Dodgers keep him at top of the lineup if he's starting pitcher on Wednesday night? No, just kidding.
Is there a child in this room? Oh, okay. Phew. I hear
No,
things
didn't
around
sound like one.
me. I was like, what? What the fuck?
Scott
no,
Larson got to listen to Bob Uecker
Yeah.
tonight.
Bob Uecker. Oh man, now that was a call. That was very sad.
I didn't hear
it. There's a fly ball right field, and well, Peter Alonso has hit a home run. It was just very sad. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. Pitches
Okay, Rob,
and
but where in the
DH?
order?
Pitches
But where in
and
the
DH.
order is the question.
I don't know where I was not. I watched him occasionally with the Angels, but not religiously. So,
well, let's make that tomorrow night's. We should start a feature. Tomorrow night's question for the audience.
Where to show? Well, and then I guess if he DHs, he can't pitch and DH because he'd be replacing himself as a batter. Can he pitch?
You go down
You could have a DH, right, for somebody else in the lineup. The designated hitter does not have to replace the pitcher.
No, he won't be the designated hitter.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works.
He'll just be in the pitcher because someone else will get DH'd for. So like
wherever he wants. Yeah, you're not wrong, Rob.
Yeah, Edmonds will be DH'd for.
Right.
And you'll miss out on some really good bunts.
Hey, listen, he got on.
I'm listening.
He got on.
Padre Twitter hates bunts.
Yeah.
And they rag on this one guy who calls in the morning radio shows. Like they call him Steve from Colorado. I am totally Steve from Colorado because I am so pro bunt. I am so pro small ball.
Uh-huh.
And I get so excited when San Diego uses it to effect because it causes chaos. And so I'm all for that style of baseball, but I'm one of very few, I think, in the world. What is the Ohtani rule?
Scott Larson says they have an Ohtani rule, and I do seem to remember that they did make some kind of tweak to the DH rules because of his unique circumstances. So let's take a look at what our friendly friend, the internet, can tell us.
The Ohtani rule sponsored by DraftKings?
Yes, the Ohtani rule sponsored by Ohtani's former valet.
What is the little bell that goes off? Is Padre getting their wings?
No, some viewers are not commenting on the comments. They have to send text, and I thought I'd turned off the
that's yours.
The sound of everything, but apparently something in this room is still making a ding every time a Phillies fan sends it in.
All right,
and I love the Phillies.
We can be the DH and stay in the game when they bring in a reliever.
The Ohtani rule is that allows a pitcher to remain as the designated hitter after being removed from the mound.
Yeah, he swaps to becoming the designated hitter.
Right. And so, like, if they pull him as a pitcher, he still gets to bat.
Yeah.
So it's basically you don't start the DHing until he leaves the mound. Because then he's just batting.
Oh, they can't choose to hit for somebody else. They can't choose to take a position player out of the lineup and use a DH.
Don't know the
answer. Can we agree that we don't need to solve it during this episode?
Listen,
you were prepared and set up. My whole rig is.
Oh please, I love you, baby.
That arm right there. So I think this has been a great.
This will be the last thing. We'll wrap it up maybe after this and Amy's other comment. He can be the DH and stay in the game when they bring in a reliever. That is correct. The rule allows a pitcher to remain as the DH. The rule was named after Ohtani, a two-way player for the Angels who excels both as a pitcher and a hitter. Before the rule, if Ohtani was removed as a pitcher, he would have to either leave the game or move to right field to remain in the game for more at-bats. The Ohtani rule allows Ohtani to remain in the game as the DH after being removed as the pitcher. It was made official in 2022 as part of the Universal Designated Hitter Rule. I guess that's the year that the NL got the DH as part of the 2022-2026 Collective Bargaining Agreement. The World Baseball Softball Confederation, WBSC, also uses the Ohtani rule in its international tournaments. So there you go. Let's see.
Yeah, I
Emily
think this
agrees.
is a good, and I think what Emily agrees to is my comment that I think we make it a tight 40.
Well, it was a tight 40, and I think the fact that more people join the longer we went is speaks well for us. But I do know there is some reality TV that needs watching in my household, so we're going to jump onto that next for a Saturday night fun.
What is your reality TV?
Oh my God, we started watching The Traitors.
Oh, I love it.
Oh
That's
my
my
God!
show.
No
That's my
spoilers.
show.
No spoilers.
Oh, no.
No spoilers.
The only spoiler I'm going to give you
Yeah.
is don't stop at Traders US.
Oh no! There's like 7 other countries.
And
I was so
Traders
excited.
UK is so much better.
Oh
and
it's impossible.
No, that's how good it is.
Who hosts?
I'm not giving anything.
Okay, don't give me anything, because if it's not Alan Cumming in full Alan Cummingness,
right?
Oh
but
my God, I love it.
As great as Alan Cumming is, and as great as Traders US is, here's the thing. I'll give this much away.
Okay, give it just a little away. Just give a little away.
Traders UK are just like normal people.
No, so the Bravo B list did not get
not Bravo B list.
This. Yeah.
However, the game immediately becomes more cutthroat right from the beginning, and it's a much better game.
Oh, cool.
And so you'll dig that. There's literally, in the first episode of the first one, there's a woman who sadly is missing an arm.
Oh.
And
is there anybody happily missing an arm?
And one of the other players is like, so what do you do with the money? And he's like, and she's talking about how her parents have taken care of her, and her parents have taken care of her children because, she has the one arm. Sure. And so this kid, he's like 20 years old, and he's like, so what do you do if you get all the money? I imagine you buy your parents a house, to thank them for all that they've done. Right. And she goes, well, I was thinking I would get an arm.
I did not realize.
That's all I'm going to tell you. It's my favorite bit.
The Traders UK.
Well, I was thinking I might just get an arm.
Produced by Eric Idle and Terry Gilliam or something. I don't know. It seems very Python-esque, but I love it. I'm very excited by it.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. I didn't know we were doing this. I thought this was going to be FaceTime, but it's FaceTime Plus.
It was way better than FaceTime.
It was way better.
Are we doing this tomorrow night after game 2?
Yeah. Unless I'm in a puddle of tears. Yes.
Well, you will not be in a puddle of tears. But let's make final prediction. The series is going 5, and I do not know that the Dodgers relievers will hold up through 5 games.
My prediction was Padres in 3, and I'm sticking with it.
All right, that sounds good. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight on the stream. It's a little impromptu stream. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Good night, Exy. Good night, Frank. Good night, Ken.